According to a recent poll by the Pew Research Center, fewer Republicans now believe in evolution than in 2009. So the number of Republicans that actually say, no, 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 we were created by God in our present form within the last few thousand years has increased since 2009. Now, according to the poll, and it was conducted in March and April of last year, just found that 43% of Republicans now agree that evolution, that we have evolved, that the theory of evolution is true. Now, back in 2009, and this is the amazing part, back in 2009, it was 54% of Republicans that believed in evolution. Now, of course, Democrats, the number hasn't actually changed for Democrats. They've been, it's stayed pretty steady around 67% in 2013 and 2009, roughly in the same area. So I'm just kind of curious, first, what your reaction to this is, the panel, and of course, why do you think that is? Now, I have my own theories as to why this is happening, but I want to get the panel's perspective before I dive into that.
So overall, this is like a downer. We're losing people in the battle of evolution, and we're not even losing them to my theory that we were genetically engineered by Martians. We're just losing them to like bullshit creationism. And it's kind of weird that we have a society, an entire medical industry based on the theory of evolution, that viruses mutate and they become more resistant to drugs, and we have less people that believe in them or believe in that theory or the fact, in my opinion. Of course, my opinion is a fact, but it's just weird, and it's not even that they do the, it's God inspiring evolution. It's just straight, no, it's not real. It's invented by somebody to trick all of us. It's just a downer.
Yeah, I guess it's not as depressing as maybe some people would think. I think that that to me is just like one of those deals where you put too much stock in it, right? So whenever people like say, "Oh, I don't know, I don't believe in evolution," like you want to jump down their throats. I mean, in the grand scheme of the universe, it really doesn't really matter what you believe in. But the important thing is that like they see the science. That, like if they need a medical emergency or whatever, well, they're not quick to judge science in that instant. So I mean, maybe we're kind of digging for things to look kind of down on. That one to me really didn't seem like it was like a, oh no, what are we gonna do? To a much larger extent, I think that more conservatives are starting to come around to a more progressive thought, in the sense that like there is a lot of income inequality in that area. That's where it really matters, not necessarily the evolution part. Not yet. Let's take baby steps.
Mike, I like a lot of what you said there. I do get, especially when you said not yet, because obviously, evolution is one of the big, foundational claims of biology right now. So as soon as you start allowing anti-evolution, you allow an anti-science mindset to kind of creep in. But to what you said, Sean, I would take issue with the idea that we're losing this battle to, as you said, bullshit creationism. I am actually, I used to be a pastor until fairly recently, and right now I'm a Sunday school director as a layperson, and I have no problem believing in evolution. I think it's silly not to. What we're losing this battle to as progressives, and this is where we need to kind of examine this ourselves in the way that we go about packaging this, is that we, not just us, but we have bought into this idea that this is a political issue. So what we're losing this battle to is not religion per se. What we're losing it to is this group of political strategists who made a calculated effort, going back to Pat Buchanan and the moral majority, all that good stuff, to associate the Republican Party with Christianity, and to make a vote for Republicans, they vote for Jesus, yada, yada, yada. And so where that comes in is we become more and more polarized in America. The more and more we associate, and we as progressives buy into this argument and associate believing in evolution as a liberal idea and not believing in evolution as a conservative idea, the more we're going to drive people to go that route, because they're, more and more people are identifying as extreme conservatives or extreme liberals, and so they'll start to deny evolution, not because they've actually examined evolution, or even as Christians, theistic evolution, but because they identify as Republicans, and we've convinced them that if you're a Republican, you don't believe in evolution.
It's exactly what it is that it's become a political issue. It's become politicized, and basically the way that we are right now, we're more polarized in America than we have ever been since the Civil War, okay, when it comes to our politics. So it's a politics of division and saying that, whatever one side believes, if you're a Republican, you must not believe in evolution, because the Democrats are tools of Satan. They're evil, or they're wrong, and we must oppose them on every issue. So I really think that Jordan, you laid that out in incredibly well fashion, and I want to thank you for making that point.
It's not just my opinion. I mean, the history bears this out. The Catholic Church has taught that theistic evolution, kind of like what Sean hinted at, that God is guiding evolution. That has been a position that they have accepted for almost a century now, and so that's your world's largest church there. The Anglican Church, which is the third largest church in the world, has had a similar position for a similar amount of time. The Big Bang was the brainchild of a Catholic priest who proved Einstein wrong. This anti-evolution, anti-science bias in the church is more focused with evangelicals than it is with mainline Protestants and Catholics. But two, it's like I say, it's within the last few decades, and it's completely a political thing, and the history bears that out.
And exactly, and now you have Republican politicians. You've had a lot of those running on that sort of anti-science, anti-evolution platform in order to get to pick up those extreme evangelicals. Remember, you had Paul Brown with his evolutionist lies straight from the pit of hell, and then you had Todd Aiken, that was thankfully kicked out by the voters for his obviously his inability to grasp basic biology. And then you had, of course, Sharon Angle. You had all these different conservatives that ran on platforms of anti-science. We have this problem with politicizing and running on this kind of platform of basically anti-fact.
To me, I agree that this isn't like the hugest issue that people make it out to be. Because I would vote for somebody who didn't believe in evolution, right? If I agreed with him in all his positions, I would vote for somebody who didn't believe in evolution. But I won't vote for somebody who doesn't believe that you should learn that theory in a science classroom. That's where I draw the distinction. Your kids could be like scientists. They could go into all these different fields. They're still learning things, and they should be able to learn it. Anything else is you're allowed to believe whatever you want. I really do believe that there is probably a 5% chance that we were engineered by Martians. And I'm not joking about that.
Yeah, no, that's what the Eyes of Mars that movie is about, right? Where they had an ancient race, and then they came up. I remember that was a good movie. Right. But one of the things that I wanted to touch on was I think the anti-science movement has a lot to do with the propaganda for the energy companies and stuff, where there's
totally.
Right, and I think that's just an offshoot of it. So I think it's almost like a way to plant the seed before, and then have it blossom into okay, well then everything must be anti-science or what? No, don't listen to those guys. Listen to us, that kind of stuff. So.
And actually, you're right, Mike. And the irony about this is, and I did a little bit of research on it, is that a lot of the more prominent, more educated conservatives, the ones who hold, master's degrees and stuff like that, they're the ones that are actually leading this. The most educated conservatives are saying, no. We have actually a financial incentive, I think, in order to lead the less educated conservatives, the more rank and file, to believe this stuff so that we can make a profit off it. And I think that's the real sort of crux of the issue, is that it's not whether you believe or not. I mean, in my opinion, you can't really believe in evolution because that makes it sound like a faith. No, if evolution is a fact,
again, I say this as a pastor. This is a non-issue for, at least for Christianity. Obviously, I can't speak, for other faiths, but I mean, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 both have different creation accounts. They're out of order. They don't match up. You can't hold to a literal reading. You have church fathers in the 2nd and 3rd century. If I had a textbook in front of me, I could tell you one specifically, who hold for a metaphorical or allegorical reading of the creation account before evolution is a twinkle in Darwin's daddy's eye. It's a complete non-issue. It's only an issue because it's been politicized.
No, and I agree with that, but there are like certain pastors. I don't know if they're a minority or a majority, or there's like certain religious groups that don't want their kids to learn that in school because they're afraid of what will happen when they learn that. Like, obviously there are other ones that will say, go learn whatever you learn at school, and you still follow the basic teachings of the religion and all that, and you come in and you learn about it on Sunday and all that.
Evolution may not be the biggest deal. Obviously, for politicians, we've got a recession, we've got wars. Why are we so concerned about what they believe about, science? But, that's public policy affects that. It affects our climate change policy. The Texas school books are a great example of what happens when you let climate change or evolution deniers, into office.
Exactly.
So, there's, bounds of reason. It may not be the most important thing, but it's certainly all political, and I think that climate change denial, while not as religious as evolution denial, certainly has a religious historical stream to it you can't deny.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Please leave a comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and share with your friends. If you want to see more, go to our channel at youtube.com/TYTNation, and if you really want to support the show, support this channel, go to our fundraising campaign at www.patreon.com/TYTNation. The website is in the description below. Thank you guys, and keep watching.